Welcome to the Numerology and Astrology for April 12th, 2021. My name is Suzanne Wagner, and I do a daily numerology astrology update with a blog and a quote, so thank you for joining me. Okay, if we add all those numbers together, we get the number 12, and if we add the 1 and the 2 together, we get the number 3. The number 3 is the number of positive mind. It's the roller coaster. Things go up and things go down. It's a little bit of a wild ride. But the number 3 brings in more positivity, which all of us need. This world is grounded in duality, the number 2, and that means that all of us and all of life are influenced by that core truth. None of us can escape that, but we can make choices that create and manifest positive things in this world. The darkness is always there. There will always be evil people intending to create mischief and suffering. There will always be those that are not awake or aware enough to realize that they are hurting others and caught up in the chaos themselves. But goodness can and does triumph. While goodness takes effort and evil feeds off of mistakes. We have to lean towards seeing the positive in all things, or at least be willing to take a bad situation and make it into something that has meaning and a teaching towards the expansion of wisdom. The astrology today. This evening is the beginning of Ramadan. In this time of change, I think it's important to honor the traditions of others, though not the distortions of any religion or belief system. It does not hurt to follow a process of fasting for the day and use it as a cleansing ritual. Even the Christians used to follow certain pathways of eating and fasting that have been released in our opulent world. Cycles of cleansing and purification are always good for bodies. It gives us a chance to let go of toxins, and to do those most often, we also will release emotional toxins. Honor that process and allow yourself to learn about the traditions and history of other cultures. Expanding the mind creates a flexible mind. The more flexibility you have, the less reactive we are over small things. The moon starts out in Aries, but in the afternoon it goes into the comfort-driven sign of Taurus. So the day starts out with determination, drive, and lots of action. And because of the moon and Venus aligning, it allows many forms of indulgence, for that particular moment. But Pluto is also square the moon, and it can make obsessions get carried away. No matter what, be kind and remember to respect the boundaries of others. Relaxing might be a bit difficult. The game is to pace yourself. Parts of us want to be more assertive, but watch out for defensive reactions that work against that. Be respectful as you express what is important to you and what you need. My quote for today. Evil smiles and has magnetism and charisma. Evil feeds off of our need to fit in and belong. Evil twists truth into things that are intended to confuse. Evil enjoys perpetuating that confusion by avoiding direct answers or responses. Notice the markers that define and warn that you are being directly manipulated by forces with intentions contrary to supporting the independence and goodness within your heart. Every day we get to choose what is allowed into our soul. Every day our soul moves towards its potential or away. Every day there will be those that try to steal your goodness for themselves. It is very different if you share your goodness with others over those that intentionally steal it by creating a conflict so immediate that you do not see the greater danger coming at you from a distance. And my blog for today. I learned through dance the power of concentration and full presence. What it takes to control your body so exquisitely in ballet is a form of focus that is way beyond what many have had to experience in this life. I am sure all athletes feel the same as I do. I believe that those that have mastered music and the instruments and make it also, they also feel the same way. I am sure that there are those that have had to focus in ways that seem to take everything they had to offer and still demanded more. Something so powerful happens when such riveting concentration is demanded, and it translates over to other things as well. It pulls all that watch it into a more full presence also. I believe that noticing subtlety comes from having to perfect very small things over and over again. I will never forget watching Eva Evdokimova's arms in the Berlin Ballet and how they moved in things like Giselle and Swan Lake. Just her arms could tell me the level of detail and finesse that she understood. It is that finesse and attention to such small details that take my breath away. It was as if she was breathing from every level of her being, aware of the most intentional small movements. She was consciously in control of pulling you into her world and allowing you to feel her and therefore open so you could feel yourself as well. Watching her made me feel more alive. Dance was not a drudgery, but a prayer, an invocation to life itself. Watching her back muscles was so amazing. From the front, she could look effortless, serene, and sublime. But from the back, her control over her muscles to keep her up and on balance and on point was a phenomenon to behold. Small muscles would contract and release. The muscle memory was so fine-tuned to her sense of balance that it was specific and detailed. I remember learning Feldenkrais work and how they could teach a paraplegic how to flip over to save them from drowning by getting them to understand how to control their vagus nerve, a cranial nerve that controls the undulation of the small and large intestine. I put this out because the levelty of subtlety in life is astounding if you are willing to put the effort and concentration into it. It taught me that there are levels of awareness that some hold that are way beyond my ability. I am attuned enough to become very aware of when it is happening for others. It's like a magnet when it happens. It draws my attention into it because something very special is happening. I feel that same way watching a magnificent buck as he climbs a mountain. There is a power, persistence, and focus that has allowed him to survive. I have a few of these magnificent creatures that randomly come on my property, and each time they take my breath away. Notice the masters that walk in your world. Some of them may be musicians that you listen to consistently, whose power and presence takes you into zones that are unique. Some may be animals that have stood the tests of time, nature, and faced death and survived. And some may be when you manage to do something that is great and that gives you a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. Cherish those moments, remember them forever. They are major pieces in your journey to enlightenment. Thanks, everyone.